Hello, welcome to the Cost Capital channel. It's Michael Chu here. We are doing market recap video for May 24th. Actually, Friday was May 23rd, but I'm recording this on Saturday. So we have Nasdaq down this week, 2.47%. So this is the, but it has been pulling back, and you can see here the black line, which is 200-day, and looking at daily chart. We can see here Monday. So Monday we have some news about so the Moody downgraded the U.S. credit rating from AA1 to AA, and that sparked the initial drop on the intraday. But it did recover mostly by end of day. However, you can see Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday it kind of have an inside day there, and then Wednesday, so we basically started this zone right here, couldn't come out of it, and then Wednesday we have the reversal right there. So on Wednesday the market dropped because there was fear about the yield, 10-year yield, the long-term yield jumping up. And so here we can see right here, so from Monday, Tuesday it started to bounce, and then on Wednesday you can see it go quite high to like almost 4.6%. And then on Thursday morning, it went up even further, but before the push back down by Friday. So Thursday, we couldn't, again, another inside day, and then Friday we hit lower. So basically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? All 3 days here are pretty negative, and we have some distribution days as well because we have higher volume right here. We also have higher volume on Friday. So that's at least 2 distribution days there. Let's go to S&P chart again. Monday it was able to bounce back from the morning loss, but then Wednesday it gave up pretty much quite a bit of gains. Plus it went all the way to 10-day, and then here Friday it came almost close to the black line, and even the near the 21-day pink line. So very negative. If we look at weekly chart here, we also down about 2.6% on S&P. Going back to Nasdaq just to look at the daily chart here. So this one hasn't come all the way back to 200 or 21-day, but you can see they're converging as well. So that's that. Let's look at Dow Jones. So for Dow Jones, we actually now came back below the 200-day line. So this is also quite negative. It's also down 2.4% on the daily chart here. Again, Monday we see the bounce back here, and then Wednesday is a huge gap down, and it crashed up below the 10-day. And then on Friday we also went below the 21 before we bounced back to the middle range here, which is exactly 21-day here. The market opens pretty weak because President Donald Trump said that foreign-made iPhones will face 25% tariff. He wants them to bring back manufacturing to the U.S. And he also threatened the European Union with 50% tariffs, right, due to lack of progress in their trade negotiations. So Russell suffers the biggest loss this week, 3.47%. That's the weekly chart. On the daily chart here, Monday it didn't bounce back much. Tuesday was able to open up higher, close higher. Wednesday was the huge drop here below the 10-day. Thursday it started to move towards the 21, and then on Friday look at that drop below 21. It did bounce back pretty strong, close at the top of the range. So this is very good in that sense. Quite a bit is the growth stock innovative IBD 50 ETF here. Look at Monday, we're able to bounce here from the 10-day moving average, the green line, and then on Tuesday we went up higher. On Wednesday we went up higher in the morning before it actually reversed, and then Thursday we kind of stuck in the inside day, and Friday we actually able to come down to the 10-day, but look at where it closed. So it actually didn't give up much ground, like, very surprising. Like this IBD 50 ETF is able to show very resilient type of action, and you look at the 10-day moving average is still in a very strong slope. Of course, this index have corrected a lot for growth stocks recently, but the fact that it has been able to like hold up pretty well this week shows some strength in some of this stocks. So we're going to look at that in my growth stocks list. So if you please follow that one after this video comes out, and we'll be sure to talk about. Yes, I do see some growth stocks, rebounding very strong on Friday after the gap down, and you can see the gap down here in the 5-minute chart. So this is a little bit hard to see because it doesn't have much data here. But yeah, but when we go to the growth stocks, we'll see lots of growth stocks actually bounce back quite strong by the end of the day. Quite a bit this week, but it did close off the high on Friday, so that's also a good sign. It didn't stay elevated, so very good sign here. So hopefully, we will come back down and stay at the low end here. Not much volatility, but again, based on Friday's tariff news, which I mentioned in my daily life. If you guys want to follow that, that the market is still reacting very strongly to tariff news. So we could be getting more of those news coming up. So stay tuned. And the market hasn't been able to not react to it. It is reacting to it. So that's what caused volatility. So we'll see. It's pretty weak this week. You can see we are below the 10-day, and the bounce here fell. So now we're back at the lows again. So yeah, it looks pretty weak right now. The oil price, is trying to hold this 10-day very strong, like trying really hard to hold it. It did kind of undercut this previous low here, before it bounced back a little bit on Friday. We also seeing gold jump right here. So it formed this double bottom base. And so we're seeing the same thing with a lot of gold stocks. They are doing this pattern as well. Some of them look stronger than others, but generally they are forming this pattern. So it is a buy signal right now, I think. Whether it can last, I'm not sure. Like, it'll come back to this high here and then we'll see what happens. You see the ETF, it started out the week very strong. It kind of broke out of this tight range right here on Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, it hit a new high right here, very strong. And then Friday, it did pull back. But yeah, overall, the week it ended up pretty strong. So this is a nice breakout right here. I think lots of traders are following this one, whether it's GBTC or IBIT is another ETF that some others trade. Here's the advanced decline line for New York Stock Exchange. Right now, the S&P 500 here went down 4 days in a row. You can see the advanced decline line also dropping pretty hard here. We are hitting lows, like, compared to the index, this is coming down a lot faster. So definitely a problem right now. And then for NASDAQ, you can see it's also coming down, and this one it's also coming down really fast. As you see right here, the lows here are almost at the same level, right, in terms of the number of stocks in the advanced decline line. So in terms of broader strength, it's definitely like coming down quite a bit. So over the week we see IBD didn't change any of their allocation outlooks. It's still 80 to 100%. But we see, like, actually distribution day on Tuesday for S&P. We saw distribution days for both S&P and Nasdaq on Wednesday, which is higher volume selling here. And then Friday, you see, again, Nasdaq actually have a distribution day. And after weeks of like positive momentum for accumulation, we're starting to see stocks being distributed. And same thing with industry groups here, starting Wednesday to Friday. In terms of the sector-wise, we are also seeing the each sector, having more net distribution. So it's now negative rather than positive. So yeah, and that happens in every sector. It's not a big number, but it is still under distribution overall. Yeah, lots of earnings. Nvidia is going to be a tech mover for sure. Heiko here, Viva, and also Macy's. And then we have PC inflation, I believe on Friday. And then we have durable goods order on Tuesday, and pending home sales data on Thursday. Monday we have holiday, and so there's no trading on that day for the equity market. Right now, SMH, when that semiconductor ETF here, very similar. It's down a little bit more, 3.64%, but it's just sitting at the black line 200-day moving average. Looking at the daily chart, this one actually is starting to come down even days before this week. So Monday was here, and you can see last week it already starting to come down, and then it fall pretty, quite a bit here. It's quite a severe pullback here. We're still sitting above the 21 day. That's the good thing. But yeah, but overall it's been quite a pullback. This was quite extended right here. And finally, the 10-day has caught up and it went even below the 10-day. So that's the pullback here. So we'll see if we get a bounce here, but we may get a bounce here. We'll see. On NVIDIA, this one looks better because it never went below the 10-day, but so it's trading. It did pull back to the 10-day. Again, same thing. It was way extended here, and now the 10-day is caught up. It has pulled back to the 10-day. So we'll see again with the earnings coming out. It for sure will go make a move here. Microsoft, this one, was able to go up nicely and not touch the 10-day, but it finally pulled back to the 10-day right here. So it did close pretty weak on Friday. Not sure if there was any related news. Could be AI related because I think there was some news. I know Anthropic raised another round this week of funding here, but not sure if there was any negative news that could impact Microsoft. I think Google, which we'll look up next, Google also had the I/O conference, and they will start doing some AI mode for their search or something. It's supposed to be more powerful queries. So we saw this nice bounce on that, on that news here. So very strong bounce. But Friday it gave back, some, and it also reversed from Thursday too. So it looks a little bit ugly, but overall the trend is still pretty good. Like here's the 10-day slope. So it's starting to look pretty good here. Next we have Meta. Meta also pulled back and now it's slightly below the 10-day right here. So following the index. Amazon, very similar. We have a downtrend line right now forming here, and it just sit just a little bit above the 21 where the black line is as well, the 200-day. The stock that really took it on the chin is Apple this week with the Friday news announcement, right? From 25% tariff starting in June, I believe, for any iPhones that not made in US. Yeah, so it dropped pretty hard. It didn't. I'm not sure if it hit a low compared to this one, but pretty close. So this is quite negative here for Apple. For Tesla, it jumped up really nice again. Quite extended from the 10-day, and then the 10-day has caught up. Right now, the 10-day is sitting right there, and yeah, it's been trading, a little bit volatile. Like you can see the up and down motion here, but overall, it is finding support at that level right here. So, even on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it didn't go below the 10-day. Again, the robo-taxi thing, must interview with CNBC this week. If you haven't watched it, you can watch it. Basically he talked about how he's gonna ramp up the robo-taxi starting in June. So that's probably the news that is driving this stock right now is how successful will their rollout be for this robo-taxi thing, because that's what's gonna drive future growth for this company. Obviously, the earnings are not very strong right now. They're kind of negative, but look at even the future projection here. It's a huge growth here. That's like by end of this year and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. So I think that's the momentum right now for this stock. And the last large cap we will touch on is Netflix here. Trading really tight. Wednesday it hit a new high before it reversed. But look at where the 10-day is. It's right there. It just doesn't want to come back to the 10-day, and it's trading really tight here. It's just consolidating. This is like definitely look at the volume on the sell side. Like there's no volume. So this is you know another stock that once this pullback is if we see a bounce, I definitely will add to this. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's market recap. Again, Monday we off, so it's a short week. Um, is it time for the market to bounce? Even though it's just been, a little bit over a week of selling, and we saw 3 distribution days. We'll have to find out, right? So thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a nice weekend. Subscribe. Thank you.